Okay. Am I right? I don't know.
I thought I just heard humming. Hello? Oh, I heard that too.
Yeah.
Did I just hear you humming a song?
Business suit, Billy Mike.
When we first started, you got startled by something. I don't know what it was, but you
I felt vibration right here between my legs, like it was trying to get whatever, like the same thing I felt with the gym, and that's still fucking recording. Go ahead and pick that up and stop the FLIR camera.
What the?
That was him as he was bending over. All right, we're gonna stop the FLIR.
I stopped it.
Oh, you already stopped it? Okay, go ahead and lock the screen up. And let's put that back in the bag. Okay. It came apart. Like somebody was slowly taking it off of me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I even asked him on there, did you untie his thing?
So I'm not gonna be able to see any of the responses, and I don't wanna know the responses until I get home and view the evidence tomorrow evening.
Can't find anything.
You can't find nothing on how long it took them?
I can't find anything about the fire itself.
Put that back in the pillowcase for me, Ron. Camera, always have cameras. What was that?
Was there someone down the hall?
I smelled a smell that I wasn't smelling a minute ago. What the hell is that smell?
Sage?
Because it doesn't smell like my sage that I got at the house.
Turn that switch, flip that switch. Thank you. Okay, so we're headed to the library to do some work over there. Really? Here are a
It's
few
nice and
photos.
cold.
Okay. All right, let me see my expensive flashlight. So you want to see the real deal? This is the real deal. Okay, this is how dark it is in here, people. Okay,
Can't even see my hands.
this is level 1 of my flashlight. Okay, level 1. All right, fully charged. This is level 2. There's level 1. There's level 2. You want it to be daylight? Let's try level 3.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Level 3. Okay. This is where this is where I was sitting. And this was the current EVP session that we were doing upstairs on the second floor of the school. And that's for safety back here is where the other guy was sitting pretty far distance from me in this room here because he had to be closer in case something actually did happen. The other guys that were asking the questions were outside. This is the room that he was hanging out in. This is 10,000 watts of power, sir.
Holy shit.
10,000 watts. Fully charged, it lasts about 20 minutes and it'll die out on you if you keep it up at this rate. Fully bright. Or 10,000 lumens, shall I say, not watts. So 3 people, and once I got to the gentleman, that's when I saw visions of the fire. So if anybody around can look up how long it took the fire company, the fire trucks to retrieve or get their butts over to the location, I'd be appreciated. Because I think it was about 10 minutes, and that's why they couldn't save the building. Or they didn't have enough firemen. Hey, if there's a person over here spray painting, we're gonna put your fucking ass. Fire.
Who brought the light?
So this is where these two gentlemen live in the library area. This is their little dominga. And this is what,
That's the blank camera going on.
do you want to
I'll
explain
disable it.
exactly what happens here and why in the library?
There's a gentleman around what seems to be mid-40s that stays in this building. I refer to him as Harold, only because I've tried a couple names and Harold is the only one that he responds to. I typically see him in either one of which used to be the computer labs, which are now the leather shop and the t-shirt print shop, or the hallway that's in between. Anytime I get up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom, I will see him in the hallway typically, and I'll ask him to either go into the leather shop or the print shop, and he tends to listen to my question, answer me, like what he'll either go into whichever
Right.
room I ask him to go in. Other than that, our security cameras catch light shows in this main part of the library.
Oh, that camera died.
Hasn't in a month and a half or so. But before that, it was every single night in between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Before any sunlight or anything comes up, there will be a light show in this main part of the library that is undescribable. It's not headlights coming through the building or anything. We've tried pulling our vehicle around just to see if it would mimic those exact light shows, and it's not the same at all whatsoever. And then we've also had a couple doorknobs move on camera, as well as shadow figures in the rooms themselves.
All
Other
right.
than that, that would be the full summary.
So either your name is Harold or it is Frank West for the pictures and the information that I pulled up.
I'm going to disable this camera so it's
Sure thing.
clicking.
So can we talk? Talking already? No shit.
Somebody just tap over here.
Mr. West or Harold? Leads to the outside. Do you feel like talking to me today or tonight, this evening? It is already 2 a.m. We just need to know of your presence, sir. We don't sense that you're bad or negative. We just need to know if you're here. These two gentlemen that sleep in this building are curious to learn more about you, sir. My name is Dustin. This is my friend Ron. And you know these two gentlemen in front of me. That was a dog. Can you give us a sign of your presence and let us know that you're here, sir? You say he likes to hang out in the leather shop, Brandon?
Yes, he's typically in this hallway.
Would you mind opening the door for me? And do you feel any negative out of him or just respectful and curious?
There's never been negative in this
Nothing.
building.
Okay. We're going to treat it as such. So we are in the leather working shop for them. Hello? Something said hello, or was that the door?
I heard it.
Mr. West or Harold, is that you?
That was me.
My name is Dustin, sir. This is my friend Ron. We came to talk with you. These gentlemen called me because they're curious to see more about you and who you are and where you're from and what you did, and they want to tell your story. That's me on the carpet.
Typically, when I see him in here, he's over in that corner where you are,
Okay.
and he'll go through the wall into the hallway and then into the print shop.
I smell a lot of leather because it's the leather shop. Why do you choose to stay here, Harold, if I can call you that?
Was this like your happy place to be in the shop?
That was me.
You can come out and talk to us. We're not here to harm you.
What's behind you, Ron? To your left?
Nothing on either side except push these tools on the desk over here.
Check that, 1:54 a.m. I saw what looked like something duck. How tall is this gentleman that you think you're seeing?
Around,
Is he taller than Ron?
he's about a little over my height.
Is he taller than Ron?
I'd say about the same height. if not
About the same height? Because I saw something duck from behind Ron just now. A head of some kind. Whether it was the shadows or what, but I don't know what it was.
Sir, if you're here and you're standing behind me and hiding behind me, come out here and make your presence known.
We're not going to hurt you, Harold. These gentlemen brought me here to talk to you, find more information about you. We're nice people, and
Jesus, my stomach.
Harold, these are the people I told you I was bringing to see you. It is okay to make yourself known.
Okay, something is touching my hair. Is that you, sir, behind me touching my hair?
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, little stubs. That's my stomach.
Talking? Or was that you? Somebody?
Yeah, my stomach's over here growling like.
Okay, damn, I heard that way over here.
Well, you should have heard the first one.
Let's roll into the print shop to see what's going on over there, okay? Harold, if you're here, you can come to the print shop with us.
Here, please follow us.
We would like for you to
The
come.
print shop a lot because you like to go through Jennifer's new clothing.
Beeping noises, is that your fire alarm?
Could be. I don't know that fire alarm's out.
So we are in the print shop. Cannot, will not show any logos.
Did
Not
anybody
allowed.
just go,
The door.
Out the door.
okay.
As you
Harold,
can see,
I'm gonna be
it's
over here in the chair if you want to come over by me.
a stack of t-shirts.
Who's behind me?
Sir, if you can hear us or see us or both, can you do something to let me know that you're here? Bang on something? Knock something over?
Feel free to knock
Oh.
over the stacks of clothing, Harold.
That was a thump.
Check that on audio.
Sir, if that was you, thank you. Can you do something else? Do something really big. Make it loud. Use my energy if you have to.
Knock one of the hangers off the rack.
What the? That was not my stomach.
Wasn't you?
Mm-mm. That was.
I heard that one.
But that first one was not me.
Is there other spirits in here besides Harold?
A little tap somewhere.
I hear a clock ticking.
Above your head. To your right.
Oh, it's right behind you.
And no wonder I hear a clock ticking. There you go. Drop the phone. Sorry. Sorry, TikTok.
Harold or if anyone else is here, feel free to knock over a stack of clothing or shut a steel. Something the main part of the library.
Honestly, I heard it too.
What that was outside.
You'll stay in here for a minute.
Man, my stomach.
Harold? Wow, the energy changed. Harold, my name is Dustin. I'm friendly. You can come talk to me, sir. Okay, that was Ron. Harold. Mr. Frank West, is that you? Is that your real name? Frank? Okay, so I want Brandon, come here for a minute. Can you hear me, Brandon? Thank you. Debunking something really quick, TikTok. Okay, come stand to me on the right. So this is just a debunk stage right now, okay? If you see any reflections right there, you see how I'm moving at the end of the hallway and it shows my reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're seeing?
No.
Like somebody is standing there and then doing that, or just, just somebody's chilling? Because even if I put my light down further, you can still see my reflection.
Mm-mm.
That's not what you're seeing?
No, I see a full black male figure, and he'll be right in.
Oh, he's
front.
black? He's a black man?
I can't tell the race. It's just like a shadow.
Okay.
But it's like completely dark. Can't tell.
Because I don't feel any negative. I just feel curious.
Mm-hmm. And he'll be towards the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
And I will walk this way, and I'll see him right as I'm getting to about here, and right before I can see the door. And I'll see him, and I'll be like, "Okay, Harold, I'm going to the bathroom. I need you to go into the print shop or leather shop until I'm done." And then I'll see the shadow go either direction.
So he's a kind.
Yes, he's very kind.
Okay.
And then when I come back, typically he chooses the print shop.
Yeah.
The only time I ever see him in the other shop, he's in there, and then he'll go through back to go to the print shop.
So whenever I came out here after you said you heard the noises, the energy was a little bit different than when we first walked in.
Mm-hmm.
I got severe goosebumps, chills. I don't know why.
On my way back through, he'll always be standing there, scroll, like hand motion towards the clothing on the rack, especially if she leaves for the night and there's new clothing up there.
Checking it out.
He's always wanting to know what she printed,
Right.
and he'll always be going through it.
Chilling, checking it out. Yeah.
He's more fascinated with the clothes.
Why am I seeing auto? Is that an auto light?
That's an automatic light for his PC. But outside I saw a light go off, but it's not automatic. It's a security light, so it stays on. But there should be no lights in that print shop active right now.
Hello. We're in Texas. That's all I'm telling you. TikTok, thank you for asking. I cannot tell you the location. Not yet. Till I get permission from the owner, because this is a new location to the paranormal industry. And And besides the owner and the people that are here, we are the only team that has been able to investigate it. And this is just a preliminary investigation. This is an ongoing thing. And until we are completely finished with it, I'm not allowed to give location. They are very private and respectful people, and we're going to keep it that way. They've already had issues with local stupid teenagers breaking in and vandalizing their building. We don't want that. Does this lead outside?
Correct. It leads you to the in-school suspension.
Oh, that's right. And then outside.
And that door will lead you to stairs to the hallway where the men's restroom is in high school.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cheaters. Sounds like a skateboard. Thought I heard a skateboard.
I thought I heard something roll.
What is this? The bathroom, you said?
The men's restroom.
Anybody taking a dookie? A spooky dookie? Running water?
Is anyone in here that caused the urinal to start overflowing out of nowhere? Or broke the railing?
They're taking a spooky dookie. It's taking a shit at a haunted location, yeah. A spooky dookie. And what was this room again?
That's the print shop that the boys are in.
Right. So I felt a little bit of a presence when I came out.
Will be right around here. And when I, this is where I'm noticing.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Chilling. Just watching, yeah. So it is now 2:00 in the morning, Harold. Or if your name is Frank West, we're about to close it down because I have to go home tomorrow and it's 3.5 hours away. But I will be back, I promise you. Just don't give the boys a hard time. You don't seem like you're a bad guy. On the other hand, the other locations on this property aren't so good. You seem to me like you're a chilled, laid-back individual. That's the other guys talking. So when we come back, we'll start more work on the library right away. A couple weeks from now. It'll probably be just me, Ron, and Julie, and maybe one or two of my other fill-ins on my backup squad.
Okay.
Whenever you guys are ready to have us back and continue working here for you guys, just let me know.
Okay.
And as long as I can get like a week ahead of time notice to get off of work if need be, you'll have quite the interesting location, to say the least. Though it's one of the owners on the right, that's Jennifer. We're not going to put the logos of the company here this morning. They do not want us to, so we're going to sit here basically for audio. The last 2 nights, might I say, have been quite exciting. Nothing really came through until we did the solo sessions in the gym and the school.
Who's calling? John.
It's John. Morning, sir. All right, so we're here with the meeting with Jennifer, Brandon, and what was your name again? Michael, revealing what we found. We can't really hear you much, but if you want to speak as loudly as you can, and we'll start with you to let you reveal your findings. Go ahead.
Forgive me because I'm still in bed technically. But as far as what we uncovered, there was a couple of things that were, in general, just odd feeling and stuff like that. But we'll start with like some of the stuff that we did find as far as like debunking, so to speak. So on the second floor, on the whole right side facing your house, pretty much has like, it has a lot of electricity going out, a lot of leakage from the outlets and stuff like that. There's also a lot of milligas coming out from those outlets, and a lot of from not only the outlets, but the, what are they called? The AC units as well. So that whole top second floor on the right-hand side is producing a lot of like milligas that
EMF.
could be worrisome for some people and stuff like that. Well, for a lot of people, but it will cause you to have like hallucinations and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna say what's going on there because of that. But throwing the black mold and all that other stuff too, I mean, it's a little bit concerning. Now, as far as like the things that we've seen and the things that we've heard, we did see some shadow figures. I saw one on the second floor. I guess as Michael said the same thing, he saw something as well. And then for me, while I was in that room where I forgot what it was called, but I think Michael knows the room that we're talking about.
The one at the very end?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
well, the one not with all the hands, but the one before.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so that one.
Yeah.
While we were watching these figures come towards the doorway, something approached Jordan's face and literally walked up to her. And around that same time too is when I saw like the whole room just got darker than dark. Then Michael confirmed that, and Jordan confirmed that the whole room was just getting darker than usual. And it looked like it was coming from the ground up, like almost like somebody was putting a blanket down, but in reverse. So it was coming up from the ground up into the ceiling. We didn't get that many EVPs from there, but we did get a lot of EVPs coming from the women's, the girls' restroom on the first floor. We caught some stuff, something called Jordan, a bitch. We got a lot of, it sounded like a female's voice crying for help, because we started hinting on this name. I can't remember what it was, but Jesse. Apparently, whatever was there was trying to say Jesse was the culprit of either spying on the girls while they were in the restroom. Something was going on with that whole thing with Jesse. So the more that we kind of honed in on that, we got a little bit more evidence on that part. And eventually I asked the question, what was, Jesse's favorite person to watch? And the name Amber came up. So we never really had time to check on all that because the actual location is really big, and of course, trying to find records on any janitors or any students that remotely were in the same same time as they were together in the school. It's kind of hard, but Jordan kind of mentioned too, it didn't have to be a janitor. It could have been a teacher. It could have been, a coach. It could have been somebody along those lines who had access to, that type of, stuff. Now from there, it kind of leaked over into the gymnasium, the big gymnasium. So we didn't really get too much on the court area, but also we got a lot of evidence in the women's restroom, in the locker room. Now, once we were started talking about like some of just the overall what's going on, all this other stuff, we started getting EVPs on honing in again, like, hey, does anybody need help? Were you bullied? That type of stuff. And we were getting a lot of responses, and we were getting a lot of intelligent stuff. Now, when we put it's a little bit funny because we put Michael in the second stall in the women's locker room in the shower, and immediately he was getting stuff like right away. Stuff that was responding to not only to what was going on, but answering our question too. So I also saw a shadow figure down there, and then apparently the water fountain turned on as well as we started getting deeper into the questions. And we could just feel how the overall feeling of the area was. I mean, as soon as we started getting deep on it, that water fountain kicked on, and then we started seeing the shadow figure, and that second time that we went back, it didn't feel any more like that. But yeah, that first round when we went in there, I mean, it was pretty intense in there. But I know Jordan earlier, as we were taking photos earlier, she was smelling smoke or something like that, or burnt wood. And then when we got into the gymnasium, she was feeling that way as well.
Jordan didn't know anything of the location.
Yeah, we didn't know anything because we go in pretty much blind just to figure out stuff as we're walking around and all that other stuff. But she picked up on that right away as well. So. But overall, I mean, I get the feeling that there's a lot of stuff there that doesn't need to be there, and I guess the question is, why is it there in the first place now? So. I mean, there's probably a lot more stuff that I'm missing because the whole night with Coke was pretty much just as soon as we get something we would stay with it, but then there was a lot of stuff going on too. But
Yeah, what about the high heels EVP? You want to explain that one?
oh yeah. So so we were doing this technique where we call each other's cell phones.
Cell phone.
And we
That's
will
what.
leave one cell phone for the location that we want to investigate, and then we would keep the other cell phone on where home base is at. So in this instant, we were in the ladies' locker room and then the ladies' restroom in the first floor in the high school. So we left the phone there, and then we were actually on the second floor with the other cell phone. So we went down, put the cell phone out, and me and Ron went back up to the second floor to ask questions. So as we were going up to the stairs on our EVP recorder, where I left the cell phone, the recorder, and the camera, we could hear women's high heels following us up to the second floor.
Clear as day.
Yeah, and it's women's high heels or high heels in general make a very distinctive sound when they're walking on hard ground or whatever. Like you can really hear them, kind of just walking as we're walking away, right behind it. So that was pretty fun.
So with that EVP, John, can you clip it and email it to me so I can give it to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, I have to find it again, but I mean, it's like I think I did total about probably 70 EVPs, but I had to really go through them and clean them up and stuff like that. But I can find that one as a whole and send it to you.
Whatever, besides that one, whatever you think is pertinent to the location, send it, and then that way I can send it to them.
Yeah, because that one, the cell phone, that's the
Mhm.
one that actually has where they called Jordan a bitch, and then they started laughing. So all that EVP has all of that on that one session.
Okay, Jennifer, do you have anything to add to that or respond for your own experiences here?
Like I said, I've only been in high school maybe 2 or 3 times, and never at night. But every time I go in there, I have a definitely strong feeling. The hair on my back of my neck goes up. And
Okay.
I just feel something in there.
Okay,
That's
so
all I can describe.
we're going to keep you on the phone, John, so you can continue to be a part of this and listen to what we found as well. So
Okay.
during the first night, it was quite active, okay? And you were there with us and they were there with us. The second night, when I got the equipment out during the day, the next morning, I was doing what's called a base reading, okay? And we would get the equipment out and walk around the entire, finding all the hot spots of the EMF, electromagnetic field will push out the escaped energy, okay? Electrical. And the results of having too much EMF pushed towards a living human, you'll get headaches, you'll get loss of hair, you'll get hallucinations, you'll see things, you'll hear things that aren't there, as well as mixed with black mold. Now we're still experimenting for the results of black mold or mold and the paranormal. We're still trying to find what causes psychologically to start seeing and hearing things, but it's there. Now,
You also want to
are we
mention
just?
too that if the high milligauss, if it's really high, if you ever had like cancer cells, it'll reactivate the cancer
It will
cells.
open up the cancer cells, and you'll get cancer back. And because what I was finding on the base readings is the milligauss was reaching upwards of a couple of places was 110.6.
Yeah, we were getting close to
Okay.
like 200.
Now, what really confuses me is I was using a millimeter 8704B, okay, Bravo, which is a device that measures milligauss, EMF, and temperature in Fahrenheit or Celsius degrees at the same time. I've been using such devices since the 80s, okay, and I have never, in my 20 plus years of doing this, seen the temperature reach no higher than 180 degrees on any location. What confused me in the gym, not the gym, but in the high school for the temperature wise in certain locations, I was getting upwards of 4,000 plus degrees Fahrenheit reading.
Yeah.
4,000. Now, why? I have no explanation for that. So on our next visit, I want to dig deeper into building, like I said, building by building by building by building, and find out why things are doing this. Okay. The building, the high school, there's something there. What is it? We don't know, because it was responding, acting like it was Principal Kemp. But we did the research and found that Principal Kemp's in his 90s, and him and his wife are still alive.
Yeah.
Okay, they're in a nursing home, I think we found, right? So we're going to try and attempt to set up a sit down with Mr. Kemp and have a conversation with him, and maybe he can bring everything up to speed, because he was a principal here for almost 40 years
And he has full memory.
and a full memory of everything that he was in his tenure.
Yeah, there's the thing that we kind of talked to you about, towards the end of the night was like how we had a prior run-in with something like this at another location, and it was kind of weird and kind of strange because of the names it was bringing up, but also the fact that it was mentioning how starving and hungry it was, and when that energy of those students are not there anymore, it's looking for something. So that's what kind of brought a little bit more concern about what's there. So, and like you said, we don't really truly know what's there, but it's pretending to be a lot of things just to get in that safe place with with the owners and the people that are there.
So whatever is up on the second floor is what you're feeling, other than the black mold and the high output of the EMF. Okay,
So
There's
concentrated
a-
on the high school, but it will follow you to the other parts
Yes.
of the location.
It will follow you everywhere. If you go in there at any time, day or night, and you feel like you're being watched, it's because whatever is there is following you to the other parts of the property. Now for the gym's base reading is normal. It's flat zero. Temperature was reading perfectly fine, same as outside, and inside degree, about 50, 40 degrees, right? During my solo sessions is when it got very exciting. I'm not sure if you were watching, but in the high school, I really didn't get much other than towards the end of the last 5 minutes. It's only a 15-minute session, and a living person can only handle 15 minutes time in a deep emotional session, and during the Estes method. At least for me anyways, I can't handle more than 15 minutes, so I stop at 15 and they come and get me. I was alone solo, and they were outside asking questions on the walkie. For the high school, I made fun of what I was visioning. I didn't get much audio, much responses to their questions, but I was envisioning, the visions were coming through. I got a hold of 3 individuals. One was, I made fun of this guy because he reminded me of the principal on Back to the Future. It's what I was, is what I was describing him as, okay? And I was making fun of him because, hey, he's bald, you got bald hair. But he was just chilling, leaning up against one of the walls in front of me. I can't remember which direction I was facing. The second individual that I was envisioning was kind of a chunky woman that was wearing a 3-piece business suit for a female dress and high heels. They got high heels. They did not tell me this until after my session. Okay, so there's matching information. So she was wearing, in my vision, she was wearing a white blouse, kind of like a bluish colored suit top and blouse with dark colored high heels. Couldn't tell the color really, but the color of the blouse was pertinent, like it was very vivid. And she had short blonde hair, kind of chunky lady. The third individual that I got a vision, and this is when it got very interesting. It was a gentleman wearing a tan-colored suit, possibly a teacher, somebody with authority in the school system here, with dark glasses and a full head of hair, brown hair. He was sitting on the stairwell with his hands in his face like he either had a hard day or the day just beat him to shit, or he just gave up on something. And right after he lifted his face from his hands and did this and looked at me is when I started envisioning. Now I knew about the fire, and this is where it gets questioned and iffy. How long did it take the fire department to get here? That's where I'm lost. After, I don't know. I need to know that time from the time the fire was done to when the time the fire truck got here, because I think in between that time is when they lost control of the gym and they couldn't put it out fast enough because they didn't get here in time.
Yeah, one of our PvP questions at the bottom of the girls' locker room, we asked if the fire was an accident, and you can distinctly hear it say no, it was not an incident. It just said no.
So we think it's an arsonist that started the fire. If somebody can validate through your crew, through your people for us, so that we don't put that information out there yet. We need validation. During that last part of the couple of minutes I was doing this in the high school, I was getting the vision of adults running from the high school to the gym trying to put this fire out before, because they were just mad. They were angry. They were like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? The students are sitting there looking out the window. I don't know the time of day or night that it started or what if they were in school. It's just what I was envisioning during this time. It was pretty crazy in the high school. We got a lot of VVPs laughing, snarling, trying to figure out if it was actual Mr. Kemp, and then we found out that it wasn't. So whatever was responding to our questions is not Mr. Kemp. We don't know who it is, and we need to find that out. for the gym, this is where it got interesting. I was in the middle of the gym, complete pitch black, other than a flashlight, so that the video camera on the phone can, pick up my face, right? This is where it got really personal for me. Towards the end,
Can't hear anything.
can't hear nothing.
Can't
My
hear the
senses are,
questions
it's a sensory deprivation experiment called Estes method. You blindfold, you put earphones, you turn it all the way up, and everything, you can't hear nothing, you don't hear nothing. You're just a duck in water, right? Just sitting there helpless. And I was in the gym, complete black, darkness, no lights other than a flashlight facing me, and I had two of the cameras facing it. Whole 9 hours, I was set up. Can I have some water, maybe? Thank you. Can you open that for me? Frozen. So nothing really was happening other than the responses to their questions that I couldn't hear. I was just responding to whatever was coming through the SB11. Towards the middle of this is when I was facing this way towards, and I didn't know this at the time, right? Because I couldn't see. I was facing this way towards the boys' locker room in the gym. And about 10 minutes into this is when I saw a young boy coming out of the boys' locker room wearing a white jersey. And what I thought was the number 2. It was not the number 2. It was the number 15. I got the number wrong. But that's why we went out there to that cemetery, because we think that it was Kurbitz, one of the boys that got murdered. Am I correct in my findings? I don't know. It's just that's the time that it got personal for me, and I had to validate that for myself. Because if it was him that came through, it's like he was clapping and all excited to go play this basketball game against you guys. Again, I don't know how they had it set up at that time. The visitors from the other teams, what side it was, but it was on. I was facing this way, and it was on that side, to where he was coming out excited, getting ready, pumped for the basketball game. Now, all of the articles that I found on the double murder stated nothing but football. I had no clue this boy played basketball. No clue. So why he came through at this school, I don't know. But that was a personal experience in the gym. Also, a young lady wearing a prom dress came through. Prom dress with high heels, sparkly. That's just what I was envisioning during all of this. And lo and behold, show her the picture.
I'm recording.
Oh, you're recording. So lo and behold, is this her? We don't know, but it seems right. The intuition feels right. There's a young lady buried next to this gym boy.
Within 6 inches.
Literally within 6 inches. Same age, similar age group, buried right next to each other. Now, well before we did the solo for that, we were investigating Boo Buddy, our teddy bear. I've had him for a very long time. I know what he does. I know what he's supposed to do. He went silent for a good 45 minutes, and he has never done that. And he was in the middle of the bleachers, where the part that's bleachers are down, and the very top in the middle, he dead silent, didn't speak, didn't move, didn't nothing. So something was manipulating him to not do what he was programmed to do. Also in the top right corner, if you're facing the bleachers that are down on the right side where that big AC unit area is, we would go up there and I would feel like I was running into heat, like a lot of heat, and it's cold outside. There's no reason for that heat in that specific area to be there.
Especially with the windows right there, they were
Open.
so there's no reason for it to be hot.
It was hot. It was like I stepped into a fire. And I would smell smoke, cigarette smoke, fire, again, matching with Jordan's findings as well. Again, we were separated at different times of the night. That's why I split my team up. You go over here, and we'll go over here, and vice versa, and switch back and forth. Is there something on your property? Yes. What is it? We don't know yet. The gym is okay. Don't be afraid to go in there. Don't be afraid to go into the high school. It's not going to hurt you. It's just curious, and we want to find more. We would like to come back and dig deeper and deeper into the history of the property to get you guys more answers. If you'll have us back, we'd like to be back.
I think there's a lot of spirits here.
Yes, there are.
There's a lot.
There are, and they are very curious as to what you are doing. And I mentioned many times in the last 2 nights that you guys are doing good things here. You bought the property to refurbish it. They want to coexist. They want to, I'm saying you guys to the spirits here. They're just very curious as to what you're doing, because any kind of remodel at any location can and will cause paranormal to happen. Because in their world, they're seeing it as it should be, not the way you're going to make it, and that's what makes them active. Sometimes they get pissed off. Let them get pissed off and say, "Hey, I don't like that." Just talk to them like we're talking today, and tell them, "Hey, I'm coming in here. I'm friendly. Don't stab me in my back and scare the shit out of me," kind of thing, right? The only thing that I see that might, and don't take this on a personal level, is the high school that might have some kind of negative in there that was acting like Principal Kemp. Okay, that's the only one thing that's we need to find out what is up there.
Yeah, I think there's something negative in there, but I was thinking it was the energy from the rumor of the girl that committed suicide. I don't even know if that's a true story.
We got suicide twice. The word suicide twice last night.
Yeah.
And that's what once I do more research on a female that's buried to the Kubowitz boy. I'm sorry, disrespectful saying your name wrong. If they're connected in some way, why are they buried next to each other? If you could do more research for me as well on that, I'd appreciate it. Because if they're connected, and that's actually her that did suicide, and that's a real rumor, then we found your answer.
Yeah, she could have committed suicide over the death of him. you know?
I was
Probably.
thinking if there was cameras in the girls' locker room, maybe it was about that. Maybe there was cameras in the girls' bathroom and the girls' locker room.
Because if there was a peeping Tom and it was a janitor or a teacher or somebody, that was sick in the mind doing something they shouldn't have been doing, then there you go. Maybe she was the main one, and this is just speculation, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she was one of the main ones that he was, or it, whatever, who was keeping an eye on her, and she found out, and there you go. More research, more homework. That's all it amounts to. But for the library, he's cool, calm, collected. We really didn't get nothing out of him because we weren't in there very long. But on our next visit, like I said, building by building, we'll spend several hours in one building and several hours in another building, and we'll dwindle it down to who is here. But the only negative that I feel is the high school on the second floor towards the memorial case for Mr. Kemp. That's where it likes to hang out. So I don't like to say it in a negative way, but be easy when you go up there. Be mindful and watchful, because it likes to play jokes. It'll laugh at you. It was laughing at us on the EVPs. It was laughing at me because I couldn't remember Brandon's name last night because I was so dead ass tired. I'm like,